I'm super excited, so I don't know how to even start. I mean, I was planning. Both my phones were turned off because I was saving the battery power, and I was waiting for them to turn on, and I was just waiting and waiting and thinking to myself, like, well, what can I do? What can I do? I'm, thinking how I'm gonna start this off. I'm gonna be like, holy fuck, holy fucking far out, yeah, yeah. But no, this is bigger than that. This isn't something that needs to be staged. Check out what I've honestly figured out. This is more than revolutionary. We gave these words meanings, okay? We, as in we. Alright? Separate. What makes us separate? Is it just our human bodies and our human minds and our thoughts and emotions? Maybe. Um, is it the weather? Does the weather bother you when it's really hot? Or when it's really cold? Or when it's rainy? Or snowy? Or hail? Or can you stay in a good mood no matter which one of those it does? Okay, keep that in mind. Also, when you look out at the sky, that has a very, very close resemblance to somebody's eyeballs. We all know that. It looks like the galaxy, okay? Well, you close your eyes, you see nothing. You open your eyes and you see everything that is in your eyes view. Okay. Well, the universal mind is a mofo. Because you know what the universal mind is? Your mind. My mind. Every individual person's mind. Every individual animal's mind. Every inanimate object's quote unquote mind. It doesn't need much to just stay stationary, but its molecules. The minds of its molecules, let's say that. Okay, I'm trying to simplify it into the smallest form. But this is not just some simple, wow, clever, whatever. But think about your eyes, okay? And take out the fact that we do all these things in this modern day life. Now the reason there's AI, I'm throwing that in here because the reason there's AI is because years ago people didn't believe that would happen. Over years and years and years of people seeing stuff that portrays that kind of thing, more people believe in it. So more people look into it. So more people believe into it because they show more things that look real. So then more people look into it and more people develop more things. And guess what? It all just started off with the thought. The very first thing that created any artificial intelligence or any kind of robot was the thought of it. Hanna-Barbera or whatever those kind of, people that started doing those kind of things really escalated the idea of flying cars and going to space and all that kind of stuff. And eventually people will do that. But that's still way less than we're capable of. Guess what I've really discovered, okay? I thought of this as in, if you look up at the sky, when you look into a mirror, it shows you what your body looks like, okay? The mirror of your body. When you look up at the sky, what you see and what I see may be different. I'm sure it is. Because when you look at a sunny day, you think a certain thing, depending on your mood. When you see a cloudy day, you think a certain thing, depending on your mood. And when you see the same thing with every other season and every other kind of variable of weather or climate pattern, okay? Well, when you look up at the sky, you see what you feel at the moment. You do, at times you notice the beautiful sunset is different than the other beautiful sunset and the other, rainy day with the rainbow and the other rainy day with, just dark and gloomy. You notice those differences, and depending on your everyday occurrences that are happening at the same times as those days affects your moods, which you don't think it really affects the weather, but the weather affects your moods, and your moods affect the weather. Both could go hand in hand. All right, well, think about the fact that all those things together all seem like some kind of unexplainable, why does the weather happen? Why do your emotions happen? Why do these things happen? Why is the universe so vast out there and amazing? And how is it when you look in someone's eyes, you get lost? Almost like when you're looking at the sky, if you really think about it. Well, maybe it's because we are all individual forms of God. And never, ever, ever to downgrade God, because God is what you think of it in one level. When we say universe, think of God of the universe, the universal mind. You don't think of the infinite, infiversal, I don't know what you would call it, infinite universes Um, maybe the reason that everyone's eyes look so amazing is because we are actually individual forms of a galaxy. We are all a god. We are all gods. And as we grow as human beings, we think, oh, I thought I was enlightened because I realized that in my mind, the Father is my enlightened mind, the Son is the human mind, and the Holy Ghost is the everything around me. Well, maybe that's a really good one. And that's really how I felt it in my heart and soul, interpreted in vibrational sense. Honestly, like spiritual sense, because it's not just vibrational; it's like vibrational spirit in all things together. It's not words. You can't explain it. So, or I'll say, when there's somebody going on about it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't need to justify myself. What here I'm trying to say is that this universal mind we call or relate to as God, and we give it all these stories of, and I'm not trying to knock anything. I do love all things. I think they're all good stories. Actually, I want to learn about them all because they're all real, because they were all made up, and everything is made up. Every single thing is made up, like to the point of dirt. Yeah, it's obvious that the dirt's there. It's obvious that a rock is there, but it's made up too. It has to be constructed in order for us to understand the whole, man, the whole journey of Earth and the whole journey of all that kind of stuff that turned us into where we are right now. Wow, man, this is so deep. I don't know if I can put it into words until I record this and then listen to it again and then elaborate on it again and then listen to it again and then elaborate on that again and then listen to it again and then elaborate on that again and then go back to the very original recording and listen to that one again and then elaborate on that again, because this is so deep. I need some people to really, really listen to what I'm saying, because this is huge. The reason we turn into a beam of sun is because the sun is the center of the infoverse. Let's say the infoverse. The sun is like the at least what would seem to be the eye. When you open your eye and you see light, you perceive light. Okay, when you close your eye, you get the dark, and you have the heart, like the moon, the thing that holds all the things together. When you have that heart mind, when you have the emotional tides of your emotion, the moon is like the heart of the emotion of, like the infoverse. The moon is the ocean, like the heart emotion ocean. I'm not trying to rhyme or anything. I'm just trying to make sense of like the whole idea that I'm trying to get to here. Is that so the sun is like the eyes and the brain all together, like the whole head, and the moon is like the heart. And as it spins around, it's the body of the universe. It's all the different cells and neurosystems of our veins and nerves and all those things. I mean, the vacuum, the black hole would be like where we get rid of and reproduce more. The dirt would be the dark of the sky, and the stars would be the seeds of the plants, and the planets would be the big rocks. That would be just in a huge metaphorical sense. But in this sense, God, that we call it, never downgraded, because it's just a word. The God of this universe, this universal God, until one of us, like a human being, gets to learn how to be a human being, so then they can escalate to the next thing. The next thing is really being a god of your own. You become your own universe, and your universe is comprised of all the things that you hold on to and make real to you in this world. This world, as a human being, I don't pay attention to the violence, and I don't pay attention to the news, and I don't pay attention to sickness, and I don't pay attention to dying young, and I don't pay attention to being mean to other people. I know it's around me. I'm not stupid, but I'm conscious enough to know that my reality is what I choose it to be. If I want to be around those people, yeah, I have to intermingle with the people that do those negative things and do the things that I don't want to do. But I show them love, and I just say, hey, if that's what I don't even say. I'm not saying in out loud words. Sometimes out loud words. I know. I'm starting to get to know when it's right to say certain things and when it's not. I mean, know when to hold them, when to fold them. There's a right place and a right time. There's all those sayings. They all mean the same thing, and we've all heard them because they're all our universal mind, just blipping them here and blipping in there. And you figure it out later because you're the cell of the earth hand or the cell of the earth foot, and maybe the United States happen to be the. I'm not trying to put anyone else down, because there's big centers like Tokyo would be the heart. America would be the brain, or maybe Tokyo is the brain and America is the heart. We call it the heart of America. I don't know. I don't really know, and I don't really care about putting all these different things together as how we all put our phrases and statements all together, because we did it as a collective, of now 7 billion and all the people up to coming. There's just so many. Anyway, I want to stop this now because this is a lot to go over. But we are all like a universe. Like deep down inside of us, our eyes, the shape of our eyes is our universe. We look up at the sky. That is the mirror of who we truly are. Think of how amazing that really is. That's so amazing. And it's not just some fable or some tale. When we downgrade ourselves to just being human, being here, having to pay bills, doing all this stuff, we should just all work together and be happy and harmonious while we're here. Until we learn what it was all about. Now we know what it's all about. We can teach the lessons from the things that we've already seen through movies and all that stuff. We don't have to have the physical action of killing or whatever. A lot of people sense that through just seeing it and sensing the harm. Other people have to go through the act of doing it. And they do end up paying for it. Either in their soul or through physical harm, you know what I mean? And then they start over as maybe an earthworm or whatever you call it. Like, we have every incarnation. You've been every grain of sand and everything. Like, you're all of those things. When you tap into this, you understand exactly what I'm saying. You've been everything, every single thing. Nothing can be left out. Nothing. Like, nothing you could think of. Even if you're like the hair on the head of a dream weasel, like something like that sounds really ridiculous, and it just popped out of my head because whatever. Those things sound so stupid, but if you really end up meditating on it and centering your mind and forgetting where you are, not forgetting, but just letting it go for a while, because you are more than a human being. You are the universe. You are everything to yourself. And all the people around you that matter to you, are you holding on to the idea of them, which is great. Hold on to the idea of everybody, though. Value everybody and everything. Don't make one thing more valuable than the other. And in certain ways, I guess you maybe have to, because you're in human form and you have to enjoy it and where you're at, but then you do have the whole world to explore. The people that can understand where I'm coming from, or if you have your own interpretation of what I'm saying, and they end up understanding where you're coming from, those are the people you're going to bond with more, of course. You're going to do things that positively attract you. The idea of vibration is so minor now when you really think about the universe. It's so much more than anything. So much more than anything. It's all unexplainable. It's so unexplainable and so amazing at the same time. It's one of the most amazing things that I've ever come to understand. It's huge. I love you guys. Talk to you later.